World sells 5 million copies over the weekend. Devs get death threats? Question mark?
Everybody, if you got sucked into Palworld this weekend, you were not the only one, and it's making quite a few headlines.
I love Palworld.
Pokemon with Guns sold 5 million copies, and its developers also received a few death threats for
how
much
though?
It looks like Pokemon. Of course, some people
are that mad?
Pokemon, so there's a mod to fix that. Aside from Palworld, we also got news on Cyberpunk 2077's eventual sequel and updates that are coming to RoboCop Rogue City. Let's get into it.
The fix. See, I should be the voice before the drop.
On Friday, we told you how the shared world survival crafting monster collecting
It'd be funny if they did that one day.
Selling like proverbial hotcakes, and that continued well into the weekend. Palworld has now sold 5 million copies in just 3 days and has overtaken Cyberpunk 2077's overall player count, making it the single biggest game
Palworld supposedly used AI. Yeah, that's a big thing.
Game Pass, but Steam is clearly
you can't do that too often anymore.
So a lot of people are playing it in a variety of places. Palworld now has Steam's 5th highest peak concurrent player count with 1,291,967 people online in the game at the same time just on Valve's platform. Palworld is currently the most played game on Steam, ahead of behemoths like Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2,
There's
and
4
PUBG.
bosses, 5 bosses? Oh my god.
On Steam ever.
I'm still on number 1.
Impressive for a little old game about Pokemon with guns. Now, of course, you can't talk about Palworld without addressing the Don fan in the room, which is how much some of the pals look like real Pokemon. In an interview with Automaton, Palworld developer CEO Takuro Mizobe addressed the issue, saying, quote, "We make our games very seriously, and we have absolutely no intention of infringing upon the intellectual property of other companies." The official stance of the studio, though, is that it's more akin to
5 pals.
crafting games like Art
it's 5
Evolved and Valheim, which is a
just like Pokemon,
argument, but it also kind of sidesteps the actual accusations.
I used AI.
Pals look like bootleg Pokemon.
Really?
Which, come on, they do.
They do.
Unfortunately, some Pokemon fans have taken the matter a bit too much to heart, and Pocket Pair devs have reported receiving numerous death threats. The CEO posted on Twitter saying, "Currently, we are receiving slanderous comments against our artists, and we are seeing tweets that appear to be death threats. I have received a variety of opinions regarding Palworld.
Pokemon 6
related to Palworld are supervised by multiple people.
There it is.
Myself, and I am responsible for the production.
You heard it here.
If you would refrain from slandering the artists involved in Palworld." Sort of a weird statement, since it kind of reads like, hey man, we didn't rip off Pokemon, but also, if we did rip off Pokemon, it's not the artist's fault, it's my fault. So kind of a strange sort of thing to deny, but then also take responsibility for. Anyway, for some fans though, Palworld doesn't look enough like Pokemon, and there's already a PC mod that takes it one step further.
We heard about that today.
On Twitter, showing the Palworld's player character model reskinned as Ash Ketchum. Some of his friends look like Brock and Misty, and the world's titular pals are replaced with a bunch of recognizable Pokemon. You know, like real Pokemon, not just we have Pokemon at home. They even got one of the bosses to look like Jesse from Team
What?
Let's be real, this looks pretty fun.
That's awesome.
At one point, CD Projekt Red was planning on adding a multiplayer mode to Cyberpunk 2077. Those plans were scrapped as focus shifted to, you know, fixing the base game. But there's a chance that this idea will get integrated into the next Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk gonna get a sequel, guys.
Speaking of Reuters, CDPR joint CEO Adam Badovsky said the sequel.
I never played it, so I don't know.
In the conceptual phase, and the studio plans to have 80 people working on it by the end of the year. Co-CEO Mikhail Novakovsky chimed in to say that a multiplayer component is under consideration. There's plenty of time for the team to think it over, because the next Witcher game, codenamed Polaris, is a much higher priority at the moment. But he said that CD hopes to have 400 people working on that by the middle of this year.
Cyberpunk is amazing.
But Reuters analysts
You're gonna watch the show?
2026 or 2027.
I'll try.
So that means that Cyberpunk, with or without multiplayer, is still a ways off. What's your feeling on this? Does Cyberpunk need an online component, or should CDPR just stick to single-player story?
Single-player story base.
Kind of the thing that they're known for. Let me know in the comments below. And finally, if you loved last year's gruesome, action-packed, and wonderfully budget-priced RoboCop Rogue City, we've got...
I didn't get to play that one.
The game just got a huge update that adds New Game Plus, a hard mode, and a couple of other bug fixes, like the very funny one that would occasionally make Mr. Robert Kopp's hand vanish while he was killing people. Tons of RoboCop fans wanted New Game Plus after the rather abrupt ending to the base game, especially because at that point your character is totally kitted out with tons of upgrades and abilities, and then the credits roll and you don't get to use any of them. New Game Plus lets you start over with all of your previously unlocked skills and Auto 9 upgrades for the full invincible robotic law enforcement officer experience, said the game developer Teon in a post on the game's Steam page. To unlock the mode, finish the game after the update.
I got you. What time does it start?
Reloading a save made just before completing the game, Teon said. So once you beat that last boss once more, a new save file will be created, and loading it up will grant you access to NG+, and you'll also unlock the new golden Auto 9 skin for beating the game, which makes your gun look less like RoboCop's gun and more like Duke Nukem's. Of course, if the base game was too easy for you, the brand new There Will Be Trouble difficulty makes all of the enemies much harder, in case you thought it was way too easy for RoboCop to walk into a room and kill 30 people in 20 seconds. I think RoboCop should be able to do that, but hey, some people like a challenge.
So MT?
Head over to IGN for a full list of the updates in this new patch. The update is free, so you don't even have to buy that for $1.
I can just look it up.
And that is your fix for Monday, January 22nd, 2024. If you
Thank you for the fix.
The best there ever was, you know, in Palworld.
Palworld, baby.
Tips and tricks on how to be a master and catch a world. There are also some guides for Pokemon over there if that's more your speed. As always, for everything gaming, you are already in the right place. IGN. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
IGN and me. That's how it works. When's IGN gonna start letting me send me the request, IGN? I'm waiting. No, I'm not happy to see Palworld get sued by Nintendo. That's gonna be terrible.